and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the most thrilling and educational carnival you'd ever experience, the Tech Ed Carnival, a journey through educational theories and models. I'm your ringmaster, Maurice Janelyn Caminero, and I'm here to take you on an extraordinary adventure through the fascinating world of educational technology. Are you ready to learn and have a blast at the same time? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're embarking on a journey that combines the magic of the carnival with the wisdom of educational theories. As we step inside the digital wonderland, we explore four exciting areas that represent our theories. So, are you ready to learn and have a blast? Let's get started. Welcome to Tech Ed Carnival, where education meets entertainment. Step right up and let the fun and learning begin.
First up, we have the Sensory Funhouse. Here, we'll dive into Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. You'll wear virtual reality headsets to step into various educational worlds. Can you place them on the right cone correctly? Well, let's find out.
Let's talk about Lesson 1, Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. According to him, the cone is a visual analogy, and like all analogies, it does not bear an exact and detailed relationship to the complex elements it represents. By this, he is saying that the cone of experience is like a picture that helps us understand something, but it's not a perfect match for the real thing. It's a simple way to represent complex ideas, but you shouldn't expect every detail to match the real world exactly. But before we dig deeper into Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience, let us talk first about the 8 M's of teaching, which contributes to ensuring effective instruction. The first M that we have is the milieu, or the learning environment. So the setting where the learning occurs plays a crucial role in teaching and learning. Factors such as the classroom management, lighting, acoustics, and accommodations for students with impairments are essential to create a conducive learning environment. Second, we have the matter or the content of learning. So this refers to what students need to learn according to the educational goals. It emphasizes not just covering topics, but ensuring students truly grasp the subject matter. Teachers should make sure that students reach a minimum level of proficiency before moving on to the next lesson. Third is we have the method or the teaching learning activities. This involves planned activities carried out by teachers and students to achieve the specific learning objectives. The effectiveness of a method depends on its ability to bring about the desired learning outcomes. The fourth M is the material or the resources of learning. Materials are tools available to both teachers and students that serve as stimuli in the teaching-learning process. They can be physical objects or human resources. These materials aim to connect students to the real world, helping them understand and explain reality through various means. The fifth M that we have is media or the communication in teaching and learning. This refers to the communication system in the classroom, which serves two purposes. First is enhancing understanding during instruction, and second, maintaining a positive classroom atmosphere that supports learning. The sixth M that we have is motivation, which is arousing and sustaining interest in learning. So motivation is a fundamental factor in the process of learning. We understand that learners tend to engage with and absorb knowledge only when they have genuine interest in the subject. So when a student lacks interest, they may simply go through the motions without real engagement. To ensure that all students actively participate in the lesson, it's essential to devise a compelling and attention-grabbing motivation technique that piques the interest of the students. The seventh M that we have is mastery, or the internalization of learning. So mastery involves ingraining what has been learned through meaningful repetition and application. It results in a shift from short-term to long-term memory, making knowledge easier to apply in future situations. The last M that we have, or the eighth M, is measurement, or the evidence that learning took place. So this represents the final phase in the teaching-learning process involving the systematic collection of evidence to confirm that learning has occurred. So it focuses on assessing the behavioral aspect of the learning objectives. With a reference to the 8 M's of instruction, one element is media and another is material. So these two M's are actually the elements of the cone of experience. So Edgar Dale's cone of experience relates well with the instructional media, which form part of the system's approach to instruction. Now, let's focus on what is really the cone of experience. So the cone of experience is a visual representation that illustrates different levels of learning experiences. It is a model that suggests a spectrum of learning activities ranging from passive to active engagement. The bands in the cone do not rigidly separate from each other. Instead, they allow the fluid movement across levels. The version of Dale's cone of experience that includes percentages for higher order thinking skills may be misleading. So it does not necessarily mean that the learning is more effective at the upper levels or the engagement is more active at the bottom. So the model emphasizes that factors like student motivation also play a crucial role in effective learning. So in essence, the cone of experience reminds us that the nature of engagement and the quality of learning involve combination of various elements beyond just the specific level on the cone.
So let us now proceed to the bands in Dale's cone of experiences. So the first one is the direct purposeful. This refers to our first-hand experiences in which serves as the foundation of our learning. This is taken from meeting informations and ideas through seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. This is an experiential learning wherein one learns by doing. So the second one we have is the contrived experiences. This refers to the use of representative models or mock-ups of reality for practical reasons and make a real-life experiences that are accessible to students' perceptions and understanding. So the third one we have is a dramatized experience. This refers to the activities that allow students to actively participate in a reconstructed experience through role plays and dramatizations. Next we have is the demonstrations. This is a visualized explanation of an important fact, idea, or process by the use of photographs, drawings, films, displays, and guided motions. So the fifth one that we have is the study trips. These are actual visits conducted to a certain location or an event that is not available within a classroom. Next, we have exhibits. These are displays of models such as pictures, artifacts, and posters that provide information. Some examples of these are museums and career fairs. So the next band is the television and motion pictures. These are media technology that provides reconstruction of the reality of the past. These allow learners to experience the situation of being communicated through the mediated tools. So the eighth band is the still pictures, recordings, and radio. These are visual and auditory devices used by an individual or a group. Stills are pictures or images, while recordings and radios are audio-recorded materials broadcasted through the radio. Next thing that we have is the visual symbols. These are more abstract representation of an information. Some examples for this are charts, graphs, maps, and diagrams. And the last thing is verbal symbols. This category is considered to be the most abstract as they usually do not contain visual clues to their meanings. Verbal symbols has two types, the written words and the spoken words.
Then, we'll head to the TPAC Target Challenge. Think you can hit the bullseye with your knowledge of TPAC? It's all about technological, pedagogical, and get to the center, the more you know.
As you prepare to become a teacher, how do you assess your content knowledge of your specialization? In terms of teaching skills, what strategies or techniques do you know will work if you use it when teaching? If you will consider using a technological tool, what would it be? These questions will be clear to you as we venture to our next phase of learning, the TPAC as a framework for technology-driven teaching and learning. TPAC, or the Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge, is a framework that helps the teacher consider how their knowledge domains intersect in order to effectively teach and engage students with technology. It is an approach that makes the combination of what teachers know, how they teach, or the role of technology in order to better impact student learning. So how does the TPAC form? First, we need to consider the three domain areas: the content knowledge, the pedagogical knowledge, and the technological knowledge. The first one is the content knowledge, or the CK. It is what a teacher's understanding and expertise of the subject area you teach, whether it's science, social studies, math, language, or all of the core curricular areas. It is made up of facts, concepts, and theories of discipline. The second one is the pedagogical knowledge, or what we call the PK. It answers the question how. Your expert knowledge of the art and science of teaching. It is what we call the pedagogy. PK includes teaching methods, assessments, and instructional strategies like project-based learning, as well as instructional strategies like think, pair, and then share. Having this knowledge helps you design successful learning experiences for each student. Now, combining these two domains, we create the PCK, or the Pedagogical Content Knowledge. PCK is the intersection of the two domain area. It is the knowledge you have of how to effectively engage the students in learning concepts and styles. This knowledge includes approaches for addressing different learning styles and scaffolding content for deeper understanding. We have Matthew Cooler and Poonam Mishra. They have added an additional component to the 21st century teaching skills, the technology knowledge, or the TK. TK represents your knowledge about the tools, including how to select, use, and integrate technology into the curriculum. TK includes the quality of the content that students access through apps, websites, and games for learning. Technological content knowledge, or the TCK, refers to how technology is used in a subject area for deep and lasting learning. For example, to widen the understanding of a topic which is budding, scientists can use sophisticated tools to collect evidence, make observations, and document findings. Interactive software then allows ways to use this data represented in various ways. Application of such technologies can help deepen student inquiry within a given discipline. Technological pedagogical knowledge, or TPK, is a teacher's understanding of how to choose and manage technology for their students. For example, What technology will best ease your students' workflow throughout their exploration of the scientific method? It is how can you use collaboration tools to have students share their learning with each other? This knowledge about technology will advance your teaching. The intersection of the three domain areas, the content, the pedagogy, and the technology is the core of TPAC. This center area refers to your understanding of how tools can enhance your teaching and support student learning more deeply and effectively. Remember, it is not about the technology tool, but it is the right blend of the three knowledge areas.
Another important model in the integration of technology in instruction is SAMR. What is SAMR? SAMR is a model designed to help students infuse technology into teaching and learning. It supports and enables teachers to design, develop, and infuse digital learning experiences that utilize technology. What does SAMR stands for? S stands for substitution, A for augmentation, M for modification, and R for redefinition. In substitution, technology acts as a direct substitute with no functional change. Substitution means replacing traditional activities and materials like in class lectures or paper worksheets with digital versions. Augmentation. In augmentation, technology acts as a direct substitute, but this time with functional improvement. This level involves incorporating interactive digital enhancement and elements like comments, hyperlinks, and multimedia. In modification, technology allows for significant task redesign. At this level, teachers can think about using a learning management system like Google Classroom, Moodle, Schoology, or Canvas. In redefinition, technology allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. Learning is fundamentally transformed at the redefinition level, enabling activities were previously impossible in the classroom. And now, I will introduce to you the Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy comprises these learning domains: the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Each assigns to each of these domains a hierarchy that corresponds to different level of learning. The one who created the Bloom's taxonomy is Benjamin Bloom itself, and is later on revised by his students Anderson and Krathwohl. So for the lower thinking skills, we have remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and for the higher thinking skills, we have recreating. And now, I will show you an infographic that shows a relationship between SAMR model and Bloom's taxonomy. So, the remembering belongs to substitution. The understanding, applying belongs to augmentation. Applying, analyzing, and evaluating belongs to modification. And for the last one, evaluating and creating belongs to redefinition. Based on SAMR model, finally, we can consider how technology can be used not just as a way to deliver content, but also in developing the students' learning and build a relationship with our students.
Now, for the daring ones, we've got the Assure Adventure part. In this thrilling journey, you'll navigate the Assure Models challenges, design a top-notch technology-driven lesson, earn points as you conquer each obstacles.
So, Assure is a guide in crafting an instructional flow that can guide the teacher and interrogate appreciation, technology, and media into the instructional process. And ASSURE stands for Analyze Learners, State Objectives, Select Methods, Media, and Materials, Require Learner Participation, and Evaluate and Revise. So, first step is to analyze learners. Learners must be the center of the instructional process. Its core is to design based on their needs. This is why the steps involves identifying the characteristics of the learners, like their age, existing knowledge, educational level. And then once you've collected all the important information, you can start designing your lessons based on their learning needs and preference. So the second step is state objectives. Using the SMART method, ensure objectives are specific, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For effective learning outcomes, this means that you should be able to know precisely what skills and knowledge the learners are going to achieve or acquire during a specific period. So, the third step is select methods. Choose how you'll teach lectures for instructional-led lessons or group discussion for learner-centered ones. Then, pick the right technology to support your teaching approach. So the fourth is utilize media and materials. Plan how to use your chosen methods by checking technology and media. Ensuring a smooth setup, prepare the teaching space, and inform learners about the process, including the materials, the goals, and the assessment. So, the fifth step is require learner participation. Ensure learners' involvement by making class discussion mandatory or having them take charge by asking questions or present topics. Also, consider the learner's approach. So the sixth and final step is evaluate and revise. Assess your teaching effectiveness. And the last step, review strategy, media, technology, and implementation. Check if objectives were met and if learners' needs were addressed. Collect feedbacks through surveys, share assessment results, and make necessary revisions.
Last but not the least, we'll take an exhilarating, tech-enchanted roller coaster ride. Buckle up as we zoom through various models of technology-enhanced lessons.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are now on the lesson 4, which talks about the models of technology-enhanced instructional lessons. Are you ready? Alright, so the learning place can also evolve, especially when you consider the varied roles that learners play. They can learn and perform the task in any physical or virtual location. There is also the element of flexibility, since learners can tackle assigned tasks at preferred times or manner of doing them. However, certain agreed rules have to be established to provide the right amount of guidance without curtailing their ingenuity. So here are the things learners can become. The first one is contributors. Learners can upload materials such as video or an audio, post a message, submit an output in a Dropbox, or add documents and ebooks, and add a picture or contribute to a digital world using pop-up. Second one is creators. Students can collate a digital portfolio, or commonly known as an e-portfolio, or create a visual poster or an interactive resource. The third one is communicators. Using technology tools, students can chat with peers, post a reply in a blog, and contribute a comment to the left thread flow. Creating a wiki, editing, and adding to it gives the students the chance to communicate their thoughts. Using the chat room or the web conference by Skype creates a new dynamic to what a learning place is. And the fourth one is collaborators. Capstone projects can be outputs of collaboration. Students can participate in posting ideas in a forum where there can be an asynchronous discussion. Using wikis to participate in a group work with the aim to accomplish a task or comment on blogs are a few ways on performing the role of a collaborator in a new idea of a learning place. So, there are many great ideas on how to integrate a technological tool or an application in teaching the lesson. Identifying the possible rule that students need to be can guide them to choose the appropriate way of using the right tool. The bottom line is for you to integrate technology because learners become engaged and learn better. Hence, a well-integrated phase of technology is critical. One common tool is a mobile device. It is a computing gadget such as smartphone or a tablet computer that can be handheld and carried along by the user. If this tool is available, a creative teacher can strategize the meaningful use of a mobile as a way of engaging the learners. Tools must be used as a fundamental components of a class as long as they are appropriate and strategically integrated to facilitate learning. For the integration of technology in a lesson is an informed judgment of a qualified and innovative teacher. So now let us define blogs. Blogs is a web page that you need to create and where you can write and post your ideas. These are updated on regular basis which can inspire or educate those who read it. It is an online journal that allows you to share with the world what you think or feel. So there are many kinds of blog and the type will depend on the purpose of which it was created. The quality of content is crucial, of course, in making your blog attractive to readers. Blogging provides benefits, and one of which is to allow you to improve your writing skills. So just in case you will start creating your blog, explore the WordPress because it is a blogging platform. So now, let us know the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. So when we say WordPress.org, it acts as a resource center offering the WordPress software for download. However, it requires users to independently seek a hosting service, install WordPress, and handle maintenance themselves. Beyond this, WordPress.org is a hub for the open source and WordPress community. Here, users can learn about WordPress and contribute to its development. On the other hand, WordPress.com offers a managed WordPress hosting service allowing users to build a website using the pre-installed WordPress software. So this platform removes the burden of managing security or maintenance, providing a ready-to-use hosted WordPress environment along with many enhancements. Alright, so if you want to start blogging and web conferencing, here are some ideas for you. For blogging, the first thing we need to do is reflect on reading. Using blogs, post your reflections on a book that you are assigned to read. Second is picture prompt. Post a blog on your reflection based on a picture. Students can be given a word limit in writing creative piece or an idea. And the third one is stat. Given limited time, students post their interpretation of a statistical data provided in class. So this can be homework assigned to them. And the fourth one or the last one is dream on. So in a social studies class, students can post about their dream destinations by describing the culture, the people, and the scenic spots. So pictures can be added to enliven the posts. And the next one is the web conferencing ideas. So the first thing we need to do is to export guest practitioner. So We need to invite somebody who is an expert in a particular field into a web conferencing, for example, Skype. And then the second one is share and compare. So using web conferencing, data from a science investigation can be shared to other groups and students from other schools. And now, let us define Padlet. Padlet is another tool that can be accessed online and suited for sharing information or content and can allow engagement of students. Although it can be used for business, but with creativity, it can be appropriate for educational purposes.
So, in designing a lesson, always remember that it is not about the technology tool upon which the lesson revolves. Rather, it has to be the objective of the lesson and the knowledge and skills to be taught that will guide you in selecting the appropriate tool or aid in order to achieve those objectives. So, the following steps may be a good guide. Step 1. Identify learning objectives based on a topic or content. You have to determine if the objects are observable or can be manifested by the learner. Consider the topic or subject matter that needs to be covered on the lesson. For the step 2, determine knowledge and skills. You have to analyze students' knowledge and skills and determine how students will be able to learn the knowledge and skills. And also, look for resources that can be useful in achieving the objectives. Step 3, select a tool or an instructional aid to use. You have to be familiar with the tool you have selected and learn how to use it. And also, you have to consider the content that needs to be placed in the tool or the information that goes with the use of the tool. And last step, which is the step 4, is to determine the method of assessment. Use a criteria to evaluate the technology tool or instructional aid, but always considering the content as the most important criterion. Consider the quality of information, the technological skills needed by the students, or how you can present the technology tool that would suit your objective.
Now, to further understand how to design a lesson plan, take a look at this sample lesson plan that employs the use of a mobile device. So for the performance outcomes of this lesson plan, learners must be able to, first, identify the plot of a given fiction. Let us pretend that this lesson plan is a lesson plan in literature. And second, write a summary of one section of the plot. It could be the beginning, the middle, or the end. And third is to create a script to enact one section of the plot. And then lastly, use a mobile device to document the section of the plot and which has to be uploaded for the class to review. And then for the things needed to be prepared in setting up the classroom, first you have to prepare a literary material from a book. Second, mobile devices with a camera. And third is an internet access which has to be prepared beyond class hours or at home if there is no internet connectivity in school. And then fourth, mobile devices have to be charged. And then lastly, teachers need to ensure that a platform such as a site, a blog, or a wiki has been set up where learners can upload their own material. So, for the plan and push the instructional flow, first is, after finishing a particular fiction literature, such as a short story or a particular text, discuss with learners the elements of a plot, such as the beginning, the middle, or the end of the story. Second, divide the class into smaller groups, assigning each team to work on the plot of the story in any of the beginning, middle, or end. And then third, each team will write a short script that summarizes the portion of the plot assigned to them. Fourth, they will act out a scene and make use of their mobile device to record their final plot or final play. And then lastly, the recording will then be uploaded to the class site, such as in Google Site or ClassWiki. Then for the rest of the big class to view and comment. So next is provide plausible possibilities. First,
The written script of a scene can be acted out like in a radio play using the audio recording feature of their mobile device like in a podcast. This can also be uploaded in the class site. And then second, as a team, create a different ending or inject a different twist in the story. The team can select the best plausible twist.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us today at this spectacular carnival. What an incredible journey it has been. A whirlwind of excitement, laughter, and pure joy that will be etched in our memories forever. As the carnival draws to a close, I stand here before you, humbled and grateful for the unforgettable moments we have shared. Thank you once again for being a part of this remarkable journey. May your days be filled with laughter, love, and the spirit of the carnival. Until we meet again, farewell, and may the magic of this carnival live on in your hearts forever.